Hi everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Swilanji Simkoko and on this episode I'm joined by my amazing friend. Oh my gosh, you can introduce yourself and say hi to the people.
Guys, I am so excited. My name is Twisile and we have been planning this for some time.
For over a year. We're supposed to do this video last year this time. But Corona happened, but
now I'm here.
She's here and I'm so excited to have you on the show.
Yeah.
This girl is fire. She has wisdom.
Nah.
By the way, she has a YouTube channel called Adventures in Being Foreign. I'll put the link of her channel in my description box. Make sure that you subscribe to her channel, and there's a lot of amazing stuff on her channel. So yeah,
thank you in advance. But guys, this one she's already at 1K. See at the end of this year how much she'll have. Chai, you should see this. This one's fire. Keep on watching her content. Like honestly, Siwi, like she has such great content and she has such a heart for God. And guys, really, like, I'm not kidding. It's not because I'm her friend, but like, for real, like, you are in good hands.
Oh,
really.
Thank you. So you guys, as you know, we've been doing a series on finances. So I decided to invite her to talk about finances in marriage. So that's what we're going to be talking about, finances in marriage. So yeah, let's get right into the video.
Yes.
The first question I have for you is, how do you manage finances as a couple in marriage?
So like the first thing that we did, so I'll just start from the beginning.
Yeah.
So the thing was that we were both working when we got married.
Yeah.
So then we both had our own
job.
Our own jobs, and we also had our own money.
Yeah.
So the thing is that what my husband did was like, we agreed that we wanted to have one account.
Yeah.
So that was really the first thing, is that we brought all our monies together into one account, and now everything is like flowing through that account. So it's easier. So I would really recommend, like, not everyone has to have one account, but that's what we do. Like. And it's just easier to have an overview of how much worth you have, and how much, like, just how much buying or capital you have. So that's the thing, like, just come together once you're married and say, each one just says, this is what I managed to do, this is what I managed to say, whatever, and then see how you want to combine. If you want to combine it in a shared account, or if you just want to have one account, go ahead and do that. So that's really the first step, I would say. I wouldn't say like everyone should do it, but I highly recommend it. It's just, it puts everything in one place.
Yeah, of course there are people who would rather that they have, I know couples who they have different duties, like they assign different duties. Maybe I'll pay for the rent, then you pay for the electricity, water, and food, and then we keep our money separate, and then we save separately. But I think there's an error with that. I truly don't go for that. Of course, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. If that's your cup of tea, then it's okay. But I think that if you have an option of saving together, you should definitely save your money together and invest together as well as a couple.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
No. And I mean, like, there might be cases where maybe you're an entrepreneur and you have your own business, so you want to have a separate account for that. That's understandable. But like, we are just both working, and so there's nothing, like, my salary goes into the same account, his salary goes into the same account. It's just everything. You have a better overview. And also, by the way, she's been married for like 3 years. We're not talking from without. She's talking from experience. For me, I've only been married for like 4 months, so I'm getting wisdom from her and all of that stuff. So I'm glad we're on the same page. Now, when it comes to finances in marriage, there's the aspect of relatives and family members. So like, how do you handle family members and relatives? Because obviously you're supposed to give them something, you know what I mean? But then how much should you give, and how often, and all of that stuff? Yeah, could you talk more about that? I feel like, to be honest, it's hard. So like, it's honestly not, there's no easy like solution to it, but I would say that what we do is we budget. So there's a budget for like everything. There's a budget for my clothes, there's a budget for my vacations, there's a budget for like the food and everything like that. So that's what we really do at the start of the year. We budget and we say, this is how much we want to spend, these are expenses and everything. So then in that budget, I would say maybe you should already include at least some amount that you want to spend helping out relatives or family members.
Definitely.
So then you already have something ahead of time in case something comes. But just because you budgeted, it doesn't mean you have to like, you have to stick to that budget, but you shouldn't go like over the budget as well. Make a realistic budget. So if you know that you have a lot of people who ask you
for finances.
Yes, like make sure that at least there's something to help out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, guys, I want to tell you, the first and foremost important thing is you take care of your family first.
Yeah, definitely.
We're not going to be like letting our families live in certain circumstances because auntie of uncle called you.
Yes,
like no,
true.
like their emergencies. Like their failure to plan should not be your emergency.
No, not at all.
And to be honest, we want to become a generation where this becomes less and less common.
Yeah, definitely.
Where people are becoming more and more independent. Like what would you say like for yourself? How would you also go about it? Because I think it's really like an important topic.
Yes, definitely. And a lot of people don't. I feel like couples don't discuss relatives and family members that they have to give money. And when you're making a budget, I feel like people forget to include family members, like to include an amount of money that strictly goes to if somebody wants to ask for money and all of that stuff. So I like what you said about budgeting and including them in your budget. That's definitely what we do. Like my husband and I, what we do is we've agreed like, okay, how often are we going to be giving our parents, because our parents are first priority, then we have our siblings, you know, so we agree like, okay, maybe after 2 months we should be able to send them this amount of money. And it's not about how much it's not about how much money you're sending them. It's about your heart that you want to give them. So it's not like you give them like thousands of kwachas. You can give them even 500 every month, and or every 500 every after 2 months. They'll still appreciate and say, okay, my children think of me. So you know, so we have to put that in the budget, and we have to know exactly when we're getting that chunk of money to send towards you know, their finances.
I think a lot of times people, if you don't plan for it, then it becomes harder. But at the same time, like it shouldn't be that like you said, it's about the heart. Because I feel like sometimes people force you to give. And I don't think that should be the case. Like you should be willing to give from your heart. Because even God says like he loves a cheerful giver. Like, because it's like even like Jesus, it was that woman with like that 5 cents. But like, or that copper coin, like it was really nothing. But the thing is, like, a lot of people are like, oh, you just gave me this bit, and they're not grateful, you know.
And you know what? People complain about how much you give them. Like, I'm giving you the money. I don't owe you anything, really.
No, you don't.
You should be grateful for everything I give you. I think that's an entitlement mentality.
That's the thing. And honestly, like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you it's okay to budget for it, because I think you know, like, okay, we have family members that do need help. But at the same time, there should be a limit. Like, you shouldn't constantly be somebody's bank or somebody's like emergency fund. You know, if they're not planning and they're not like doing their part in being financially literate and all these things, like you shouldn't always be there to like pull them out. Because at the end of the day, like we said, remember,
give a man is it a fish and he'll continue coming, but teach him how to fish, then he'll not come back.
And that's the thing, like a lot of times we just give fish,
and you don't teach them how to
and that's not going to work out. So like even when you're budgeting, make sure like there will be emergencies for sure, but like make sure you're going to give those people maybe who are going maybe they are starting a business and a real business, not like they're like I want to do business, because there's a lot of people who want to do business,
I know, but the business
like real
is not
ones. So like definitely plan for it, but also don't put yourself in a situation that makes it difficult for you to
save and invest,
to actually help do things with your own family and your own, like, you as a unit, you know.
Definitely.
It's really important.
And then the next question I wanted to ask is, how do you plan for like children? How do you plan finances for your children? Because you obviously, if you do want to have kids, they're definitely going to come at a certain point. And I feel like in our Zambian culture, we don't really plan for our kids. We don't really put funding in, you know, for their school fees and all of that stuff. But since you stay in Germany, I want to find out how do you guys do it over there with regards kids.
So the thing is, like, to be honest, you get quite a bit of help from the government. So then if you're working and if you're not, even if you're not working, you get a certain amount per child. But it's not like it pays for everything, money, you know, like at least you get that assistance. Yes, for sure, you still need to budget. So I think the first thing, like definitely for my husband and I, it's been that we have waited to have children because we wanted to reach a certain financial status where we know that we can provide for our kids, because at the same time we don't want to be like, working the whole time and not spending time with the kids.
Yeah.
So like we try to also, like, I try to climb up the career ladder, and then my husband, he's also getting ordained soon, so that will also help us.
Yeah.
But another way is to like make some sort of investments. There's ways that, I mean, just saving money in the bank, it doesn't grow. Yeah, it's not enough. So like we're looking into like investing in real estate at some point, or also investing in other things so that we can have at least passive income, and not just depending on our
jobs, and also the government.
So that's definitely something I would definitely recommend, that you actually see, are we earning enough first of all to have a child? Can we can we really pay the school fees? Can we pay, like, just not even before school fees, diapers? Those are expensive.
Oh
Milk,
my gosh, that's so expensive.
Foods, like,
everything, hospital bills are quite expensive. And I like what you said, whereby you have to plan, because I've noticed that in our culture, we, you know, when you get married, it's like once you get married, you're expected to have a child, even when you and your husband maybe are not financially stable. But how can you bring a child into the world when you don't even know how you can take care of them? And much worse, you can't even take care of yourselves. So it's wisdom. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have kids, and kids are not a gift. Of course, kids are gifts. But even gifts have to come with wisdom of how you're going to take care of the gift that God has given you. Otherwise, you end up bringing a child on this earth that you can't provide for, and you can't take to college. And this is what we see happening. So with kids, you definitely have to think before you even get married. In fact, you're supposed to start thinking of how you're going to save, invest, and pay for their fees and other things. And one of the things that my husband and I have been looking into is having a fund for the kids.
Oh yes.
So that will get obviously compound interest, so that at a certain point, maybe when this child is like 3 years and they need to go to baby school, we just get the money from the fund instead of getting from our budget. Like having just a very separate thing just for the child. Kids.
And like the interest rates are good. It's not the same as just saving, right?
So you can get maybe 10% of interest on it after 3 months. So the money will keep on growing. So you don't have to save a huge chunk. You can be saving even 500 kwacha every month. For sure.
Because like, I mean, the child, you should start now. Like you said, like you guys, maybe you're not planning to have kids like now,
immediately,
but you're already thinking ahead of time, you know. And that's the thing, like, if instead of starting that saving, or like starting that fund for the child when you're pregnant, you're already doing it now, you know, like I'm gonna have a child, like God, I'm hoping that God blesses me with a child, so I want the child to have, like, I want to have the finances for my child. So no, that's really good, like, for sure, because
definitely.
And like if you continue it, like, it's normally kids, I mean, over the years, it will just keep on increasing.
But what if you already have kids? Because there are people who already have kids, and it's a bit hard for them to save because they have so much responsibility already, and they didn't really plan ahead. Then what do you think can be done for those people?
I feel like in that case, I think there's never something that you can save. To be honest, like,
I agree.
Like, you can always save something. Like, even if it's 5% of like your total income as a couple, you can save that. So like, don't give yourself that excuse to say like, I have so many costs, I can't save anything. No. Maybe you have DSTV. Do you need DSTV?
Do you need DSTV? In fact, Netflix now. People are not watching DSTV.
If you have Netflix,
do you need Netflix? You know? Do you need bundles every month? Who are you calling?
Like, really look at those costs that are not fixed. Because like, okay, you need a roof over your head, you need food and all those things. So look there first and see where you can make space. And then the second thing I would say for sure.
Oh, before you even go into the second, sorry to cut you short, but I want to add on your point. Reduce on the things that you already have. If it's a house, maybe it's a big house and you pay a lot of rent, you know, downsize to a smaller house, you know, and then try to pay cheap, because if you downsize to a smaller house, you obviously pay less on rent, so you can save the, you know, the amount, the what's that?
Like, you can save the difference.
You can save the difference. So, you know, move to a smaller house. If you have groceries and there's a lot of things that you don't need but you just want, like luxuries, you can reduce on those things. You can reduce on, you know, if you can eat more vegetables and have less meat in your diet, because it's not that it's going to be there for the rest of your life. It's just for a short period of time. If you can even save 500 kwacha every month, within 3 months, that should be within 6 months that should be about 3,000. 3,000 you can invest in a business that will give you maybe even double that amount. So you keep on growing it like that. So live below your means. That's what we're trying to say.
Like don't try to be keeping up with the Johnsons,
please.
Like don't just be on your own lane, drive your own car. Enjoy yourself.
I know. If you can't afford a car, please don't borrow money to get a car. Just save up. If you can't afford to stay in a certain neighborhood, don't stay there. It's okay.
For who are you doing it?
I know.
So just be careful. Like definitely that. Like live below your means. And then I think look for. I know like the employment market is hard, but I would say that if you have a job that's not paying you enough, and you know it, and you know your value, like start applying for better jobs. I know it's hard, like it's not easy to just be like, bye, I have another job. But look for jobs that would give you your worth, you know? Because just don't stay in a job because you're like, oh, I'm afraid. Like, of course, go for interviews, and if they say we're really taking you, you have signed the contract, and then you tell them I'm going, not before, not you just went to interview and like bye. No, like look for opportunities that would increase your income that way, or if you have a certain skill, use that skill
definitely.
Like if you have a certain skill, use it. Like really use it in the weekend. If you're good at baking, start baking cakes for birthdays and things like that. So do things like that as well to see how can I make sure like it's either you're reducing your costs or you're increasing your income.
They call it increase your earning capacity.
So then the best thing is like you reduce and you even earn more. Then you have this gap.
A lot of money to save. Babes, I love your point. Having a skill. It's one job is not enough. To be honest, even for someone who doesn't have kids, even just for one person, it's not enough. So you need to both of you look at what things are you good at? What things are you passionate about? Can you bake? Can you cook? Can you write? Can you find something? If you don't have anything, try to learn a new skill. If you have to pay money to learn a new skill, then you should definitely do that.
I think sometimes we may underestimate it, or you might not feel as confident. But if you have friends telling you, you know how to do it,
I know,
you know how to do this, my friends,
please, the money is coming. It's there. Just look for the money.
Like use your skill really, because I feel like a lot of people just sit on their talents.
They do.
If you really if people keep telling you about like you do something well, monetize that. Like don't just sit on it.
And the Bible says that your gift will bring you before kings. So it's not even your job that is able to bring you money. In other words, it's actually your skill. Every person has been given a gift by God that is able to make them a lot of money, and it's only when you find that gift that you begin to even have extra money. You know what I mean? But most people are not willing to develop their gifts because they're so focused on having a job. Even though you don't like a job, you're just so focused on I want a job, I need a job. But it's not only a job that will make you money. There's so many ways you can have money. Even having your skill and doing your own thing is also a way that you can actually have money.
For sure. So don't underestimate that. And I also wanted to say like something about finances as a couple. I feel that it's important that you talk about money enough. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about money enough. They don't. Maybe you speak I don't know, once every 2 months
about finances.
Like, we sit down and like, for example, even with this trip, I sat down with my husband. I was like, okay, so this is how much we've already spent on this trip. Can I still get more? Because I'm still here and I want to have fun. Like, so we agree on it as well. Like, so we talk about it, like, this is what we spent, and I still want to do this and this. How much do you think I should get? And maybe I would like to take this, and maybe he says like, okay, maybe not. But then you just need to have this conversation. Plan them in the beginning. The ones always occur spontaneously, but plan them for sure. And also know your like characteristics. My husband, he was saving since he was born.
I know. And for us, he's Germany, right? Okay,
so like he was saving. Like, to be honest, like he was more of a like he's just has he has. I was like. I also worked some jobs in university, but what I did was like I would go shopping in Zara, I'll go on a trip. So like when I finished uni, I had no savings, nothing. But I worked a bit, like I worked a short weekend job. And my husband, when he finished high school, he worked a bit, and then he paid even for his he did a missionary trip to America.
Wow.
He paid it for himself. He paid part of his studies himself. He didn't have to, but he was like, I had the money. So he has that character of saving. So know what type of personality you have with finances, so that you can also like see how you like merge or where you have differences and things like that. So like I've also learned to save because we have budget, you know. But if I didn't have a budget, I would not be I like dresses.
I
like
know we like nice things, but you have to save.
Yeah, so like just have that check how am I more of a spender, am I more of a saver, how can we save more, like how can we be more compatible with our way with money. Yes, so that's also important.
Oh, that's such a good point, and I want to add something on what you said. For me, I was more of a spender as well. I would have money but spend all of it. My husband is more of a saving, like if he has to save for something, he's going to save for something, and he also spend but after saving. But for me, I was like, I have to spend first and then look at what has remained and then save what has, and there wasn't any money anyway. You know. So I worked, but I didn't have anything to show for it because I was spending all the money I was making. It was only until we had the discussion about money that we decided to say, okay, what do we want? Do we want to continue working for the rest of our lives, or do we want to become financially free, whereby where you reach a point where you don't have to work? It's a decision, you can work or not work, but you still have the money. And when we came up to that conclusion, we're able to say, okay, so we want to be able to have this amount of money. How can we have this amount of money? So we have to save, we have to invest, and we have to continue saving. And we also have to live below our means. So we had to downsize our life. We used to go out, but we don't go out as much unless it's obviously like a birthday. Those are exceptions, you know, and stuff like that. And we don't also just spend money anyhow, you know what I mean? So you have to find out what type of person you are, and ask your spouse also what type of person they are. And then if you're both spenders, then you obviously have a problem. You need to find somebody who keeps you accountable for your money. And
you'll be what? You won't have anything to eat.
You won't have anything to eat. And also being having an end goal is important.
For sure.
What's your why? Why are you doing this? We are doing this because we have to sacrifice now for our kids so that we don't suffer later. You know, so our why is we want to be able to reach a point where we can travel and not think about how much money we're spending. We want to be able to help out other people, our family members. Now we can't really help as much because we don't have the money. But we want to reach that place. We want to be able to help not only our family members but other people. You know, we want to be able to provide a better life for our kids, and you know, just enjoy life, you know.
For sure. And I think that's really important, because if you don't have a goal or if you don't have a direction where you're going, you won't reach there. Like you will just be somehow, you know, like you just you know, like you won't move anywhere. So like you're saying, like you guys said, okay, this is what we want to have, and this is why we want to have it. That's already such an important step to have. And for us, for example, it's also when we are in pension, we don't want to be poor. You know, like, because we want to be able to always work. We want to always have this energy,
young like this, only for a little while, you know.
So then it's important to look ahead in your future and be like, okay, this is why we're doing it. That's such a great point, for sure.
Okay. So we finally come to the end of this video. I hope you learned one or two things. Don't forget to do what?
Subscribe
To your girl. Subscribe to my channel and her channel.
Comment.
Don't forget.
Like.
Yes, please.
Tell your cousins, your aunties. Tell all of them. This girl. I tell you guys, please.
Oh my gosh. Okay guys, so so I want to hear from you guys. How do you save in your marriage? How do you account for finances from family and all of that good stuff? So thank you so much for watching, and bye.